Hi, it's Rudi from Better Music. Welcome again to our YouTube channel. I'm here today with a announced but not yet officially available new Yamaha P515. We've got this one on loan from Yamaha. They will be available shortly, not sure the exact date yet, but it's not too far away. This is a bit of a long-awaited piano because Yamaha recently released the Yamaha P125, which is the model below this. And it's been an incredibly successful piano, very well featured, and probably the top runner at the moment in that price point of digital piano. The model that precedes this, which was the P255, was sort of looking a little bit lost in terms of the P125 probably coming very close up its heels. So now Yamaha have brought out the new 515, and I've got to say it's very impressive. You'll find researching what it does and watching the video that a lot of the features you're getting on this piano they've taken straight out of the more expensive Clavichord range. So a standout straight up when you play this piano is that it features the NWX wooden key mechanism with synthetic ivory key tops as well. So it's Yamaha's premier action out of their Clavichord range, and that action is found right up on the upper echelons of the Clavichord model range. So it's very responsive, it feels really nice under your fingers, and certainly gives a level of control to a portable piano that in the P series we've never had before. Similar to the Clavichord range, you are using on this piano the Yamaha CFX Grand and also the Bösendorfer Imperial. So two very contrasting pianos, they sound completely different. The CFX is also sampled using binaural sampling. So the piano is recorded in such a way that you are hearing it when you play it as if you were sitting in front of that piano. And I've got to say it's very impressive. That was the CFX Grand that I played in the intro. Let's have a listen again quickly to it, and then I'll flick to the Bösendorfer, which they're two completely different pianos. I can't say one's better than the other. They're both so different, yet both so good as well. So again, the CFX. Really rich and bold and yeah, full of character. Now the Bösendorfer's very deep and very expressive, slightly warmer off the offset, but can really get up and boogie when you get stuck into it. So let's have a listen to it. So there you have it, two completely different pianos, equally as impressive as the other. I've got to say, I love the Bösendorfer, but then I go back and play the CFX. Yeah, it's just backwards and forwards between the two. But again, you use either one depending on what you're playing and whatever mood it puts you in. And they do put you in a certain mood because they've got their unique characters. So let's get back to this as a package. So we've looked at the primary features of this. If you're buying this piano, you're buying it because you want a good instrument, you want it to be like a good piano, you want to be able to take it places. We've got it here just on a fold-up stand. There is going to be an optional nice timber frame stand with built-in pedals and all the rest that's available, that will be available. But getting back to it, we've got some really good features on board the piano. So obviously really good piano sounds, really good touch with the NWX. You've got a host of other features on board as well. Electric pianos, organ strings. There's also about 480 of the XG voices built inside. So you've got a whole gambit of sounds to use. The polyphony count's very high. It's got a 256 note polyphony count. That means you can play 256 notes at once. The other thing is, on top of the binaural sampling on the CFX, Bösendorfer doesn't use binaural sampling. It's using Yamaha's standard sampling method, which is very impressive. You also have virtual resonance modeling on the piano sample. So we've got string resonance, damper resonance, aliquot resonance now on this as well. So it does actually make quite a big difference. I'm going to go into the function setting here, and I've just turned it off. So have a listen without. So it's still just a pure piano sound. Now I'm going to turn it on. You're going to hear all the string resonance, damper resonance, aliquot resonance, body resonance. So you can hear that going on straight there. It just brings character to the piano, and that's what happens in a real piano. So, all the elements you require to make a very realistic piano: the touch, the sound, portability. Speaker system's fantastic on it. You've got 15 watts a side, and Yamaha, being obviously you know, very well versed in hi-fi and speaker design, the special speaker system they've got on here really accentuates the bass. And obviously you can't hear it on the video because we're recording out of the outputs, but I've actually got it coming through the speakers here as I play. And normally we use the monitors that I play through, but I'm actually playing it through these speakers because it's right in front of me and actually sounds really good. But of course, you've got the proper connections on the back to go to, you know, PA and mixers and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you've got yourself a beautiful piano, you've got the great touch. Obviously, there's going to have some other features on board as well. Let's have a quick run through some of the other sounds. So back in piano, we've heard the CFX Grand, we've heard the Bösendorf. You've got some other piano presets like a Studio Grand. Really sort of sharp, you know, fast attack piano that feels really good to play some really, maybe some poppy stuff or even some jazz. A really bright grand. And these other sounds are great. There's, you know, there's no problems with them at all. But what happens is you just keep going back to the Bösendorf and the CFX because they're so good. But, you know, you've got some others in there. The Ballard one is really nice. That one's actually really good. Warm Grand. And we've got a Pop Grand. Jazz Grand. Really good again, great for jazz. But, you know, I'd be happy playing the CFX as a jazz piano as well because it's just so good. But look, Rock Grand, look, really, really sharp attack and you know, twangy and great for playing your rock groove. Honky Tonk, of course. That's it for the acoustic pianos. They put some really nice electric pianos in here as well. So that one's really good. Phaser. Back to the 80s, the old Yamaha DX. Nice vintage EP with a trem on it. That's it for EPs. You've got some organs as well. Look, it's not an organ, but the ones that are on there, you know, they're okay. digital piano, they're right up there. Rock organ. Jazz organ. Of course, you've got your classical organs. So again, there's the organ sounds. Look, the classical ones are really good. The jazz ones are okay. The classical ones are totally usable. When I say totally usable, jazz ones you can still great, but it's not the same as having a proper, combo organ. And I say this is a great piano. I'd love to have this in a rig for a gig with another keyboard on top of a whole bunch of other sounds, because the core of this is really good. Look, we can go through all the sounds. I mean, you've got harpsichord. So very realistic. Clavichord. Fives. Now the strings on this are really nice, particularly the slow strings. And let's go back to Bösendorfer sound. So I'm going to go straight back to the Bösendorfer, and I'm going to layer it with the nice slow strings. This is really good. Okay, so we've gone through a bunch of the sounds. There's a few more features I'll show you quickly. You've of course got on board here dual and split voice. You heard the dual voice with the Bösendorfer and the strings. You can split on this. And on top of that, you've got a bunch of different backing grooves in here. So you've got drum beats with or without the bass track on there. So let's have a little jam on here with, I've got an electric piano and a bass split going on. Bass sounds are really good. The speakers sound really good. They handle the bass really well. So. Bit of fun. So of course you can also have the bass backing on, so let's have a listen. So, as you can see, a whole bunch of cool stuff going on this piano. There's a couple more things I want to talk about, or three in fact. You've also got a stereo headphone optimizer on this. So what Yamaha have done with that is they've created a special way of making the headphone, what you hear on the headphone, sound exactly like if you're sitting at a real piano playing. So with the quality of the samples, and particularly with the CFX or the binaural sampling, you do get a very accurate rendition when that function is turned on. So really nice to play on headphones with. Of course, you've got the usual gambit on a piano of this caliber. You've got your USB device port right on the top here, which is handy. You don't have to poke around the back. It just goes straight in there. Records and plays back WAV file, so audio recording. You've got your USB MIDI interface built in, so you can plug straight into your computer, Mac or PC, and of course also apps, which is the next thing I'm going to get to. I didn't do the whole demo of the piano with the app. It's got this awesome Smart Pianist app which controls the whole piano. I'm going to show it to you now because some people want to see the piano just as the piano. We've had comments on videos before, why don't you show more of the piano? So I thought we'd show more of the piano because it deserves it. It's a very good piano. But let's have a quick look at the app and see what we can do with it. All right, so we've got the really cool iPad Pro plug-in. It doesn't have to be an iPad Pro, it can be a smaller iPad. Of course, you can even use your iPhone as well, and there is an Android version, I think, coming or very not too far away for this piano. So very cool, you just plug it in. You need a camera adapter cable to plug into the lightning port on your device with Apple, and then just a printer cable, basically just a standard USB cable to plug in straight in the back of the piano. So when it boots up, it automatically connects to the piano. So at the moment I've got piano room, so you can see here, there's the concept, the CFX. Change it. So that's just changing the sounds, but it does a whole bunch more than that. You can save your own registrations, you can record audio to the app. But on top of that, you know, the app warrants a whole video just on itself, and you may have seen it demonstrated with the P125 on another video I did. But it pretty much lets you really get into the nitty-gritty of the piano. You can edit the voices, you can edit the pianos, you can go in and you've got a mixer on board, so when you do your layers, you can control all the levels. You can save your favourite settings as registrations on board. The list goes on. Another cool thing is you can bring in song files or any audio file. You can load into the app and it will print you an instant chord chart. And it will transmit the audio through the piano and coming out through the speakers. You don't need to plug in a stereo mini jack into your device and run it into line in. The USB cable is transmitting audio and MIDI as well. So it's fully featured. The other cool thing is that you won't find written anywhere, but people are finding out, or I found out, is that you can actually load different apps into here, like GarageBand, for instance. There are also a lot of software synths. They will play through this. This unit has an audio interface built in, so it will render audio sounds from apps. I don't know how, there's lots of apps that do it. I don't know all of them, but there's so far. GarageBand works, and this works for the P125 as well, which we weren't aware of when we did the video for the P125. So very cool feature. There aren't any other digital pianos on the market at the moment, certainly in this category, that enable you to use software synths in a live situation. So if you've got GarageBand on there or a software synth, the audio will come out the line out of this and out of these speakers if you've got the speakers on. So very, very powerful tool indeed, and certainly this makes using the piano from a practice point of view, from a rehearsal point of view, just from a fun point of view, very intuitive, and makes it a lot of fun as well. So definitely check it out. It's called Smart Pianist. It connects really easily. You don't have to worry about any, you know, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Yes, there is a cable. A lot of people say, oh, well, why haven't they gone Bluetooth? The reason for that is if it was just controlling the piano, they could just use Bluetooth. But as soon as you bring audio in, as soon as it's transmitting audio, Bluetooth still has a delay for audio, and you'd play a note and then it would sound a little bit later. So that's why it's using a cable, but it's foolproof, works fantastically, and definitely check it out. So let's go back again. So this is the new P515. It's going to be available soon. There's going to be a nice timber stand and triple pedal board available for it as well. It is also going to be available in white. So great action, wooden keys, awesome speakers, all the things we've had to listen to. Definitely check it out. If you've got any questions, hit us up on the comments below or give us a call in store. We'll see you next time.